Welcome back. We're here, the final part of our journey into the Leo heart. And this is where we get to the core of it all. We're going to go behind the mane and uncover the truths they guard with their lives, the secrets that really define their very soul. And we're going to start right there with maybe the most vulnerable secret they have. It's this quiet fear that's actually the fuel for that incredible performance they put on. It's the one question that drives their entire life.
So trait number 9, we're calling it the cowardly lion. And this is really about the great paradox of a Leo's courage. It's this deep, secret belief that they just don't have it, that the one thing everyone sees in them, it's not real. And this is about the journey they take to finally prove themselves wrong.
So if you look at it, you see these two different sides, right? On the surface, it's all a performance. They might boast a little, maybe exaggerate things, talk a little louder, anything to make themselves seem bigger, to kind of fill up the room. But what's happening underneath all of that? Well, that's where the fear lives. It's this deep, gnawing fear that if they ever stop, if they just get quiet for a second, everyone's going to see that there's nothing there. It's a total defense mechanism, and it's born from this absolute terror of being seen as empty. But then, life has a way of showing up. And I'm not talking about the little dramas they sometimes cook up for themselves. I mean a real crisis, the kind that brings you to your knees. And in that moment, you know what happens? The show's over. The performance just stops. And when everyone else is falling apart, when the world is just chaos, something incredible happens. The Leo, the one who is so convinced they were empty inside, they're the one left standing. And it's like a switch flips. They become calm, solid. They're the rock for everyone else. They're out there helping the helpless, shielding the frightened, all while being twice as scared as anyone else on the inside. And that is the whole point. The cowardly lion who spent their entire life looking for courage finds out when it really truly matters, it was inside them all along. And that strength, that discovery, it leads us right into our next trait, number 10, the crown and the wound. Because this is all about that incredible sensitivity that's hiding just under the surface of all that resilience. You know, the heavier the crown, the softer the head that wears it. Think about it like this. Tell a Leo they're special and mean it, and they will give you absolutely everything. The keys to the kingdom are yours. But tell them they're worthless, and that kingdom will close its gates to you forever. It's the same person, maybe even on the same day, but they can become two completely different people. And it all comes down to this really fragile core they have under that heavy crown. A core that's governed by one single crucial need. And here's the thing, that need isn't really love, not at its root. For a Leo, the question they are always asking, silently, is, do you respect me? Love without respect, it feels empty, hollow. But respect? Man, respect, even without love, that's enough to sustain them. It is the absolute foundation for everything. And this powerful need for respect, it's the fuel for their most profound, most unshakable trait. Trait number 11, the unbreakable oath. We're talking about a loyalty that's, well, it's almost sacred. Because when a Leo chooses you, as a friend, a partner, whatever it is, it's done. It's not a contract you can get out of. It's an oath, a silent one, with no expiration date. This isn't just for a little while. We're talking about a loyalty that can last for a quarter of a century, 25 years, often without a single word of thanks. They just stay because in their heart, they made a promise. And who says loyalty has to make sense, right? They'll stay in friendships that died years ago, all because they just don't know how to break a word they gave, even if it was a word they only ever spoke to themselves. And all of this, all the trials, the secret fears, that unbreakable loyalty, it all leads here to the final transformation, to trait number 12, the king. This is the story of the journey from prince to the throne. You see, the journey starts with the prince. This is the young Leo, right? Always looking for the spotlight, the parties, the shine. They kind of feel like the world owes them something, even if they're not sure what. It's all about that performance. But then, time does its thing, the years pass, and the shine just doesn't feel as fulfilling anymore. The fun starts to feel a little empty. And that's when a quiet, profound change starts to happen. They begin choosing duty over pleasure, carrying the weight for others without complaint.
So that's the road they walk. It starts with that entitlement of the prince, but then comes the reckoning, the moment they realize the old ways just don't work anymore. Then comes that quiet shift toward duty. And that whole journey leads to the final understanding. A crown isn't a prize you win. It's a responsibility you carry.
And then one day you look up and the person standing there isn't a loud performer anymore. It's a king, quiet, solid. His hands are covered in scars from the weight he's carried for other people. Because he's learned that true power, it isn't about demanding respect. It's about earning it, quietly, through service.
And in the end, that is the journey that makes them who they are. It's this long, quiet road of turning ego into duty, turning noise into real strength. And whoever makes it through, whoever survives that road, they finally become worthy of the sun they were born under.